I did it this time. Yay.
Good job. We are
Everyone
proud.
thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back to another episode of Unprinted Pages, where we have children's author Patricia Harris and my amazing co-host Delphine. Today is a very special episode. Hello, my beautiful ladies.
Hello.
Yes, we brought two of our favorite puppets. Retta
I just
Tosker
brought Dragon.
and Spells, and what's the dragon's name?
Purple.
Great name. Sounds like a Dante name. We have some questions from some of our children viewers, and we are going to read you Pip the Pup today. Pip the Pup, the brave pup. We'll get the name right whenever we bring it up. And Pip and Friends. I've read the story so many times that all the words seem wrong. So
The second one's called A Pup is Brave.
A Pup is Brave. Yes, Pip. The pup is brave. Thank you. Do you guys know how that feels? You've read something so many times, the words seem wrong?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have written a word so many times in a row. One day you just look at it and it just looks so wrong.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, who thought of that? Why did you do that?
Why is it spelled that way? It should not be spelled that way.
Yeah, the
There's
last
a couple of times I've done that.
was with the word silence.
Mayonnaise always gets me. The word mayonnaise, I cannot spell that word without going, that doesn't look right.
Yeah,
So
I have a couple of them.
you have a couple of them. What are your hard ones?
Recommend occasionally, and there's one or two other ones where it's stuff with double consonants. I forget how it occurred. I think I forget which consonants need to be doubled and which ones are single. And so I'll try.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But I will never misspell, because when I was in elementary school, we had a picture that had a teacher writing on the chalkboard she was going to be gone for the day, and it was, "Don't misspell, misspell, signed Miss Pell.
That is cool.
That's my mnemonic for that one. So, yeah. So now you know, kids.
Yes. Words are hard even for adults.
Oh,
So-
yes.
That's one of the problems with teaching kids English lately, or any language, trying to figure out how the words work. But yeah, okay. Welcome to the show. I have some questions from Dante. Let's start with those. What type of dog is Pip the Pup?
Pip the pup is a beagle. Or at least the best way I could ever draw a beagle. That was what he was supposed to be.
Hey, that works. What is your favorite color?
Purple.
Purple? So it's the same
Purple.
color as mommy. Have you ever flown?
Yes. But only once. When I came to Charleston, there was a flight and it was two different planes. The first one was out of Dulles to Chicago, and it was a bigger plane, and it wasn't so bad. I was scared. I'm claustrophobic, which means that I really don't do well in tight places. And this plane was a bit bigger, so I did okay. But then, because there is no direct flight from where I was to Charleston, Chicago to Charleston, however, was a small plane. The first one, there was 4 seats across and lots of space in between the aisles. The second one, there was 2 seats and an aisle between them. And it was tiny. And I really did not do well in that plane. And I swore I was never going to get in another plane again. And I haven't.
Hi, Tom Dog.
Hello.
Okay, the next question is, what's your favorite ice cream?
Butter pecan.
Ooh,
Mhm.
yummy.
It has been my favorite for as long as I can remember. I don't mind strawberry or chocolate. I don't mind vanilla, but my favorite is butter pecan.
That is awesome. Do you like chocolate milk?
I love chocolate milk. My favorite drink when I was a little girl was Yoo-hoo, which is not chocolate milk, but it is chocolate milk at the same time. It's supposed to be chocolate milk. It's more like chocolate water, but
Yeah, basically. Okay, the last question, well, technically it's 2 questions. What is your favorite planet? And is that the one you would actually want to go visit? Or is there another planet you want to go visit?
the fun answer to that is my favorite planet is not a planet. Because my favorite planet is Pluto. And Pluto is not a planet. Pluto has been declared not a planet. Yeah. And yes, I would love to go visit Pluto. I don't think I would survive it, but I would love to go see it. I think that would be fun. But if I had to pick one of the actual planets, I think Mars is kind of interesting.
Okay. And the next is actually for both of you from Sophia. Is it hard to write kid stories? Would you like to go first, though?
I don't.
Oh, sure. For me, it is slightly hard to write kid stories because I write a lot of horror, and so I need to make sure that I am not too scary when I'm writing things for kids. At the same time, I liked reading horror stories when I was a kid, so I don't want to be patronizing to kids. So I think I'm more of a not kids, but not quite young adult. I can write in that range right before then is about where
Middle
I
grade.
can, yeah, middle grade I can hit, and then I jump up to an adult stuff because young adult doesn't quite fit my style of writing either.
Okay.
I don't think it's hard to write kid stories because I remember what it was like to be a kid. And a lot of it is I'm telling the story to either myself or to my kids when they were little. So for me, it's just telling these stories to those children that either I was or that they were. And a lot of my kids' stories were actually written as bedtime stories to my daughter. It was something she would be like, I don't want to go to bed. And I'd be like, well, it's bedtime. And so, in order to get the bedtime to actually go through, mom would have to tell a story. And then I would just take that story and write it down. And then after that, it was easier just to go, okay, and follow and write similar stories. So
that is awesome. Okay. How about we read the first book and then talk about it while we're uploading the next one? How does that sound, ladies?
sounds good to me.
Okay.
Pip the Pup. Pip the Pup was a happy puppy. Pip loved to walk in the woods. Pip's friend Angel would walk with him. Pip chased butterflies. His friend would smile at the way Pip played. She loved Pip. Pip loved her too. One day Pip tried chasing a bird. The bird was really pretty. Pip ran very fast. Pip was not watching where he was going. Soon Pip was very lost. Pip found a cat. He asked for help. The cat laughed at Pip. The cat was not very nice. Pip met a snake. Pip was too afraid of the snake to ask for help, so Pip kept running. Pip was afraid. Angel was worried. She could not find Pip. Pip was cold. Pip was hungry. Pip did not know how to find his friend. Missing Pip the Pup. Friendly little pup. If found, please call Angel. 555 555 5555. Angel asked her friends for help finding Pip. Angel put pictures of Pip all over the place. Angel and her friends searched all over town. Before long, Pip was found. Angel was happy to see Pip. Pip was happy to see her friend. Angel's friends were happy for Angel and Pip. Pip was careful not to lose his way again. Pip felt loved. The end.
So, do all of your stories help explain emotions or lessons?
I try for that, especially with the kids' books, because a lot of the time my daughter did not understand a lot of what the social cues were. She didn't understand a lot of the emotions she was feeling. And that was my way of helping to guide her. The Dylan series doesn't so much, but it does at the same time. That one is a nod to the fact that my daughter likes zombies and she wanted to see zombie stories. But a lot of them do. They talk about where you have emotions, and sometimes they're not real easy to understand. They're awfully big and they're kind of scary. I think my middle grade option, which was the story about the gnomes, the attack on Shoe Mountain, or attack up Shoe Mountain, I think it was, didn't, but that was more meant for, it was a story. It was meant to entertain. But the rest of them do tend to have a bit more of a guide the kids through a tough emotional bit or a tough social bit, because that was things my daughter struggled with. It was things I struggled with. So.
Very cool.
Did you have any questions, Del? Or thoughts?
No, Pip the Pup kind of reminds me of Peanut Pup, because Peanut Pup goes to run away and then she gets very scared too. She barks a big bark, and then if the other dog shows up, oh, that wasn't me. Good run and hide. She is a scaredy pup.
What were both of y'all's favorite kids' books when you guys were younger? Or book in general when you were like between like 5 and 10?
Are we going for books intended for that age, or what we were actually reading?
What you were
that's what I was about ready to ask.
What you were actually reading?
Because I read the Chronicles of Narnia when I was 5, and I was up to The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings when I was 8. And moving on to Stephen King and stuff by the time I was 10. So
I was in a similar situation. I think the first book I really remember being a favorite was about, at 5 years old, was about The Secret Garden or The Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Those two were big favorites of mine at like 5. So they're not intended for that age, but that was what I was reading. So I don't remember ever reading the so-called kids books intended for that age. I read them later, and later I enjoyed most of Dr. Seuss's books, but that was
Oh, yeah.
when my kids were little. So, but I don't remember reading them when I was a kid. Just I was reading college level in 3rd grade, so
My grandma liked to read us Dr. Seuss stuff, and then there was a book called Stop That Ball, and actually at her wake, we were like reciting it as a family because everyone knew it, and it's like, I hit my ball, I made it fly, I hit my ball, and it's about this little boy who he has like a ball on a string in his yard, and he hits it over the wall, and then he has to go chasing it through town because it ends up like there's a marching band playing, and the big red ball lands inside the tuba, and he gives a big blow, and it goes flying off and goes to a construction site that they're getting ready to blow up, and he has to keep following his ball until he can get it again. And that one she read so many times, the entire family knows it by heart. So that
That
those
is
in Dr.
beautiful.
Seuss. Yeah. It's out of print, so we had to like track down copies of it for the family on like you look for it for eBay, and it's like, okay, you can spend $50 for this, and it's like, eesh, but memories, you know.
Oh, yeah.
you might check thrift books. They tend to have a lot of out of print books. They might have it at a decent price.
I will have to check
I will have to
because
check too now. We have a copy.
it is a good book.
Okay. Are you ready to read now?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
A Pup is Brave by Patricia Harris. To Dante for reminding me why I write.
I had to add that for him.
Pip was scared. Angel was at school. Pip was alone at home. First, there was a noise at the back door. Pip barked at it. Then there was a noise at the front door. Pip barked at it. The barks did not stop the noise. The barks did make Pip feel better. Pip could see the squirrels out of the window. Pip asked them what was outside. Squirrels did not seem to hear Pip. Pip was scared. His friend Angel had told Pip that it was okay to be scared. She said that she was often scared. Pip felt less scared when he thought about Angel. Angel came home from school to find Pip barking. She smiled at him. "Did you miss me?" Pip felt less afraid because Angel was with him. Pip felt brave.
I like that one.
That is very much what Peanut does. She barks at it, and then she runs away.
I think Stubby wants to catch the squirrel and give it a good talking to.
Peanut is very brave behind the doors.
Yeah, the original reason for Pip was the drawing. My mom taught me how to draw the dog that Pip is based on when I was probably 9 or 10, I'm guessing. it was the only thing that she knew how to draw, really. And my brother has an amazing talent when it comes to drawing, but I never really did, and I was jealous of it. So she's like, well, let's draw this. And she taught me to draw this very simplistic dog, which is what Pip is. And so I would draw it for Angel and tell her stories about it as one of her bedtime stories. And that's where Pip came from, was that dog drawing. And then when Dante sent me the question of more Pip, I was just like, okay, I have to now. There has to be more Pip. Because one just doesn't not answer that.
Oh, yes. He's like, please, more.
Yeah, love her, Dante.
Hold on a second. I am missing one, and I'm trying to figure out which one it is I'm missing.
2.
Yes, but I'm trying to make sure I have the right 2, because I have 2 versions of 2 on here.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Two seconds. So, thank you for actually writing more. We have appreciated that, and so has he. And you said that there is going to be a 4th Pip and Friends book coming up.
It's going to be called Pip, That Doesn't Belong to You. And it's going to come out for Kids Week. So
And that's
it's
December.
going to talk. Yes. It is going to talk about Pip taking things that do not belong to him and how Angel deals with it. So
Okay.
it is already written. I still need to do the illustrations for it and put it together, but it is going to be ready for December. So
Okay. Awesome. We look forward to that.
Very cool.
Okay.
So
there we go.
While you're getting that loaded up. Oh, you found it? Okay.
Yes. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, while we were talking about, you have 3 and 4. I'm going to do that there.
Thank you.
Yep. Have any of you guys tried to use the talking dog buttons for your pets? They have there are these buttons, and you record things on them, and then you teach your pet to like push the button, so it'll like go outside, play, treat, and you just push them every time, and then when you're doing it, and then they're supposed to learn it. And they have dogs that have like 20 or 30 of them that will carry on conversations. They'll be like, why stranger here and stuff when people are there. Or some of them are smart enough to be like, play new bird toy, when they got something that they weren't sure what it was, but it had a feather on it. And we tried them with Peanut Pup, and she's just like, no.
I didn't even know such a thing existed.
Oh, yeah, there's a talking cat. They have talking cats and dogs, but you'll have to check them out sometime. They're kind of neat. We have 0 success with even just like with a 1 button with like go out. So, but some of these dogs are like write sentences. So, I think it's also a scared thing because, like I said, Peanut's always scared, and when she touches something and it makes noise back at her, it's like so.
Yeah, I don't think I want to give my cat anything more to make noise, because my cat is very, very, very verbal. I mean, if she sees us come into the room, she'll go, "Meow, meow, meow, meow." And she will do this for an hour nonstop, no end inside. So I don't want to give her anything more to make noise.
Gotcha.
Stubby is very verbal. He wants to talk to you and he tries very hard. But getting him to learn new things is hard because he's like a year old and it's, I don't know. We're working on it. He's learning, but I don't know if we're ready for that yet. The buttons.
Yeah, I want to find somebody who can do it. I know nobody. I've seen them on Facebook, but I know nobody who actually has been able to successfully get their pet to communicate with them. So,
Okay. This next book,
What did
I
you
am definitely afraid of doing it with not Dante, but Stubby. I don't think we're ready for that. Him and other animals. But okay. I'm going to go ahead and read the last book for you guys, and then we're going to talk just a little bit more. Pip and Friends by Patricia Harris. Pip is a curious pup. Pip likes going on walks and making new friends. Not all of the new friends want to be friends with Pip. Angel tries to stop Pip from getting too close to friends who will hurt Pip. Pip doesn't understand why he has to be careful. He just wants to be friends. The skunk does not want to be friends. He has a smelly fart that lets Pip know to stay away. The kitty hisses when Pip gets too close. Pip thinks that he scares the kitty. Angel pulls Pip away from the big dog down the street. He might hurt you, little one, she tells Pip. Angel takes Pip on walks every day. Pip tries to make new friends every time. He really likes to go to the dog park. Pip has many friends at the dog park. Angel likes to go to the dog park too. She can let Pip play and read her book. The end.
I just realized there's a typo in that. I
Yay.
need to fix that.
I do too, and I've read that book so many times and I didn't see it.
That will be on my to-do list now.
See, kids, adults are not all-knowing and get everything perfect. Mommy never gets everything perfect. But yes.
Oh, Pups and Friends.
Yeah, the idea of that skunk being a friend was not a good one.
We like to go to the farmer's market to make friends, but there are a lot of big dogs at the farmer's market, and Peanut is a little pup, and she goes and likes to meet other little pups. The really big puppies, the 100-pound boxer puppies that are still puppy brained, but they're full dog size, will come to try to play with her, and she can jump almost all the way up into our arms when something like that happens. She just flies. But then she tries to make friends with all the other little dogs. So they have the little dog club. It's very cute.
That sounds cute.
Yeah.
Tell us about the inspiration for your fairy stories, please. Your fairy kid stories.
Oh, honestly, they're based on my daughter. My daughter has autism. She she was diagnosed with what they called Asperger's at one point, but it's now called autism level 1. And what that means is that we did not get her diagnosis when she was little. So there was a lot of, she would do things and I did not know what to make of it because her neurodivergence was not the same as mine. So there was a lot that she would do and I didn't know how to deal with it. She would go out and make friends with the roly-poly bugs. We went through quite a few pet fish because she was reaching in and petting the fish and I didn't know it. Little things like that. The things that, just were different. They weren't bad. They were just different. And in making it into a story, now that she's mostly grown, I mean, she's always going to be my baby. But I was able to make it into a story and make the adventures seem more fun. When she was little, there was a lot of mom panicking because, like the one that's going to be coming out in December, because there's going to be another fairy story, another sugar story in December as well. Where is sugar? Or where's my sugar, I think is what I called it. But Angel had taken off and gone into a neighbor's house, and it was out of the zone of this is where you're allowed to be. And this was before we'd gotten her cell phone. She was probably about 9. And I'm panicking because I don't know where she is. So there were cops and all that because mom's panicking. And the story sounds a lot better told in the way that I did in the story, in the fairy setup. But at the time, it was a whole lot of, oh God, where's my kid? But it's easy now that she's an adult because she's 20. So it's easy to go back and go, well, I could put a gloss on this and make it a fun story. But the story at the time was a scared mama.
A nightmare.
And yeah, a true nightmare because I couldn't find my kid. And I mean, she was just in a neighbor's house, but she hadn't told me where she was going. I did not know where she was. And this person, I didn't know them from Adam's House Cat. I did not know who they were. And the ending of the situation was that I had to have a talk with her about where she could go and, the fact that she had to let me know if she was going to go into somebody else's house and what have you. Like I said, the fairy stories are now an adventure. me telling it as if it was fun. Her petting the fish is a funny thing now. But we went through like 5 or 6 fish before I realized why they were dying. Because, you know, I it wasn't that I didn't watch her, but when you're dealing with a child that young, there's always so much going on. You don't see everything. And I didn't see everything. I didn't see her playing with the pill bugs. I didn't see her petting the fish. This is stuff that I found out after the fact and was able to make into a story to make myself feel better. And that's what it is. It makes me feel better more than it did anything. Sometimes we tell ourselves stories to make ourselves feel better as well as to make other people enjoy it. That's what that is.
I'm cracking up really hard because we had a fish petter as well. Only they were wearing gloves because they didn't want to touch the slimy fish, but they still thought that the fish needed to be pet. And then the fish went on a field trip, as we call it, when it stuck and landed on the floor. And the fish didn't last very long after that. But we learned that you don't pet fish, even with gloves. They're okay without pets. They don't need them to be happy.
Yeah, no, my daughter never did learn that lesson. She thought that she needed to pet the fish. The only reason why she actually stopped petting the fish is because we stopped buying her fish. And we've had to talk recently about that. And she's like, but they're pets. You pet your pets. I'm like, I'm so glad we got you chickens now because, yes, you can pet your chickens.
Yes. And give them cute names.
Oh, yeah. Like, the current ones are Raven, Waffles. They're still sick. Oh, well, I think I perhaps shouldn't use that one's name, but, yeah. Sick stuff. She lost one last year that was called Nugget.
Oh.
So, freezer bag. Freezer bag 1,
Well,
2,
3. The reason it was called Nugget is because that one kept escaping from the pen. She called it Nugget because he was being a pain in the butt. Or she was, because she only gets the females. But since the creature was being a pain in the butt, she's like, "You're a nugget. We're going to make you into one." She never meant it, but the threat was good. But yeah, Waffles is a Rhode Island red, and it's about yay big. Thing's huge. And considering it's only like a little over 2 months old.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
going to be a big fish. Big fish.
Yeah.
Big chicken.
She's got two Selkie babies in a rabbit cage right now inside that are going to be gorgeous, but the rest of them are all outside. The Selkies haven't even got their feathers in yet to go out, so.
Those are pretty
But
birds.
Oh, yeah.
they are. She's got 6 Black Sex Links, Rhode Island Red, Barred Rock, which the Barred Rock is the oldest one. That's sick stuff. And let's see, what was the other one? No, not 6 of the Black Sex Links. I think she's only got like, I'm not sure. She ended up with 8 chickens out of this last batch. There was a Rhode Island Red, an Isla Brown, 2 Rhode Island Reds, an Isla Brown, and the rest were Black Sex Links. So 5 Black Sex Links. And then her aunt got her the 2 Selkies on top of that. So, and then she's still got 2 ducks out there who she is quite certain sell quack to everybody in the neighborhood. Her words, not me.
Okay, let's talk about Not Another Billy. I think it's called.
Not Another Danny.
Not Another Danny. Okay, I've said these so many times, I'm getting the names mixed up. Sorry. Not Another Danny. It's got a beautiful story. I like that.
That one was me trying to write something about bullying. And as a matter of fact, the original title was Bully Danny. And I was like, no, the title really doesn't work. And I wanted it to be something that was good as far as the title goes. And that's when the title got changed and it came out as Not Another Danny. Danny is this kind of odd little kid that doesn't quite fit in anywhere. You know, he's not into sports. He's not into what everybody else in his class is into. There's 4 Daniels in his class, which Daniel is a very common name. So, and it was bothering him. So he's like, I don't want to be Daniel. I don't want to be Danny. I just want to be me. And the mom in the story was like, you are you. You don't have to be another Danny. You can be whatever you want to be. And I feel like when we, as parents, when we have kids, we give them a name, and it's a gift. But do we expect our kids to keep every gift that they're ever given? So why do we expect them to keep the names that we give them? Sometimes the name doesn't fit them. Sometimes nicknames don't fit them. And a lot of kids struggle with that. Sometimes it takes a child growing to adulthood before they're able to tell us, this is who I am. But sometimes a kid tells us when they're real little, this is who I am. And a lot of parents don't want to listen to that. I kind of wrote that one because there are a lot of kids out there who are struggling with who they are and trying to figure it out. I'm 48 years old, I think. 49? 49. And I still don't know who I am. But I also don't have to deal with other people's opinions of me either. Whereas a
That's their
kid
business.
kind of does. Yeah. Whereas a kid kind of does. Peer pressure is a terrible thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted there to be a story that kids that are struggling with that could read and go, somebody gets this.
That's very cool.
So,
I remember reading that to Dante in the doctor's office. And I told him, Patty has a new book out. And he's like, yay. And I download it and we finished reading it. And he said, just be me? I'm like, yeah, just be you. Whatever that is, mommy wants it.
yeah. It's amazing how many kids, when their parents are pregnant with them, carrying them, the parents go, all I want is a healthy child. But then when the kid becomes their individual selves, the parents go, don't be that. Well, didn't you say you just wanted a healthy kid? What's the difference? What's the difference now from when you were pregnant?
That's one thing you've been able to help me with cats. Like this right here. Well, all of these. You've seen so many. She's
Yes.
like, I want to do this. I want to make art. I'm like, okay. And then you said you'd put it on the blog, or we could put it in the newsletter, or she could be published. And she's like, another adult wants what I can do? Yeah.
Because she has talent. She is using her mind and her creativity to do something in this world to make the world more beautiful. Whether it be what somebody else likes or not, she's doing what she thinks is a creative endeavor. I personally like what she creates, but not everybody's going to see it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly think it's wonderful.
The best part about all of you. Say what?
I was saying you have wonderful kids. They're all very talented.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you all accept them and me. That's one of the best things.
Oh, yeah. I like my Dante hugs. I like my boops. That's all fun.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I get sad. I just need a boop.
Oh, yeah. And you guys are all part of the fish club, but you get to pick out what fish you want. And I don't remember what fish you chose, but you guys, both of you, get to pick whatever fish you want to be.
I think I said angelfish. I'm not sure. Sounded right. By the way, in case you're curious, the one that Angel kept petting, we kept getting her betas because betas are ones that don't do well with others in the tank with them anyway. So we thought it wouldn't need other fish in the tank. So, a single beta fish would be. So she kept killing off beta fish.
That's what ours was called. That was the type of fish that was, went on vacation, took field trip after getting pet. I got to look up and see what.
You're going to look it up and find out?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's the fish that swim around and Plecostomy.
I'm
The
fairly
ones that
sure I
like
said
clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the ones that help kind of clean up and they just kind of hang out around the bottom and chill. The plecostomy fish. They have some very pretty versions of them, like a clown plecostomy. I think that would just be what I would like to be.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Oh, did we lose her?
There she is.
Cool.
Am I still here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because I disappeared for a second, and I'm like, wait a second, am I still here?
You
And then we
disappeared
moved.
on our end for a second. Yeah, you just moved to the other end. You and Dell switched places.
That's okay. She's also host two according to the system, so it works. And it's always. The last one we have is the Dylan books.
Those are the zombie books. Those are the ones that I did mostly because my daughter is my little zombie. And she just wanted a zombie book. Dylan, I actually have a second Dylan book written, but the girl that did the illustrations, Shannon Riddle, has been unable to do the illustrations for it, and I really don't want to switch illustrators. I would like her to do the other book before I give up on Dylan on that one, because I don't want to change the style of it. She did such a good job on Dylan.
More Dylan.
But a fun thing about my daughter, I was one of those parents that I was very careful about what she was allowed to watch growing up. When she was born, we stopped having cable because I wanted to know exactly what media she was taking in, what movies and such. So I did not let her watch just anything. Her father and I had one disagreement, though. He let her watch, she was probably 2 years old, 2.5 maybe. He let her watch the original 1960s version of Night of the Living Dead. There she is, 2.5 years old, laughing her ass off at these shambling little zombies. And the reason was because she thought they were funny. I'm arguing with him, saying, no, she's too young for this. And he's like, look at her. Does she look like she's bothered by it? No, she was not. She is my little zombie angel. She absolutely loves anything horror. She loves anything zombie. Always has. So when I started writing the kids' books, full on, she complained. She says, Mom, I know these are mostly stories you told me at bedtime. I know I'm too old for them now. But can't you write one that has a zombie or something in it? Something interesting? It's like, yeah, I could probably do that. So I wrote Dylan, and like I said, I've written the second one. It's just Shannon is currently away from her ability to draw the illustrations for it, and I have not wanted to change illustrators for that. I can, but I don't want to, because it is
All have been okay.
because it is such a unique way that she drew Dylan and the zombies and everything around it, that I would feel like it changed the story entirely.
Yes. And hi, Stephen.
So
Very happy you're here, even though it's late. If you have kids, go back and replay.
I will probably bug Shannon about doing the illustration next year, because I will want to try and release the second Dylan for next year's Kids Week. I've given her a couple of years where I have not bugged her about it, because I understand what's going on. She's taking care of her grandfather, who was incredibly ill, and I did not want to push things. So
that is I appreciate that. I think she does too. And all our kids for this episode appreciate that you've taken care of all the mean zombies and other horrible creatures that are going to get them.
Yes.
Night,
Stefan will
Steven.
unalive them like mad.
We will turn Stefan into a knight for this episode.
That works.
But anyway, I guess we've reached our hour for the usual kids versions. Let's talk about if you'll tell us where to find you and to be looking for next.
Well, I am everywhere Patty Mouse. Everywhere Patty. Somebody one time, when I was starting my writing as actually trying to figure out how to do this as a career, suggested that if I wanted to be easy to find, that I go to whatever, even if I wasn't planning on using it, I go to whatever social media and reserve the name I wanted to use. And I had already published one book of poetry at that point, but I really hadn't done anything else. And so I started doing that. I started going everywhere and reserving Patty Mouse. And so literally, social media, if you type in Patty Mouse, it's me. My books are easily found under my name at Books to Read, reading list, my name. As for the next kids book, Fae Corps Kids Week is when I release all of mine, because that's just the easiest way for me to do it. It guarantees I have books to release on Kids Week for Fae Corps. Like I said, there's going to be a new Pip the Pup, and there's going to be a new Sugar. I gotta remember, I don't remember which one's going to be first and which one's second. If you give me half a second, I'll take a peek, because I have them reserved. Where's My Sugar comes out December 2nd, and Pip, That Is Not Yours comes out December 3rd. So we've got a couple other people who have told me they're going to have me some kids' books available in December. I'm hoping they manage to get me the books they're telling me they will. But we should have a decent set of kids' books come December.
That will be awesome.
Awesome.
What about the Dell?
The Dell is going to be involved currently with, we have the Owlite Menagerie that is coming out, thanks to Fae Corps down below, and all of Jenny's hard work as well, and everybody in our network and some of the other authors that we have met through having the Owlite network going. We are launching on the 4th, correct?
Yes.
Pretty sure that's right. I just want to make sure I got it right. Okay. And the Dell is also involved with Stefan over there, is setting up a Kickstarter to re-release in some really cool editions, more lore from the Mythos that Raz and I are both in, as well as some of our other folks. Curtis is in that, Steve Ann Sampson, PJ Rahal, who we've had on. Couple of folks. That's going to be a Kickstarter, so we're going to re-release, but he's got all these great pieces of art. It's going to, you can get a slipcover version hardback with all this stuff, and it's just gorgeous. And so if you go to Kari, Kari Sanders on Facebook, you can find me there, and then links to my author pages and all of my other things. And when I'm not writing or doing Owlite, I'm with the splash pages over on Tuesday nights where we do comic book podcast, and I get to hang out with all those fun gents. So that is how you find me. And half the time, you'll be talking to her. So, yeah.
Yay. You can find me at Fae Corps. You can find me at Owlite. You can find me at my page is also Friday with the Library in the Blue Box, and my author page, Jennifer Elliott. And the book comes out the 4th, and all of the proceeds go to pro literacy, and will help them create ways for other adults to help get what they need to read, and hopefully have better lives, like hopefully we have. And Stefan says the paperbacks, new ebooks, and 2 hardcover editions will be available. And I'm looking forward to our release party on the 8th, that following Saturday after the book comes out. I can't wait to see who will come join us and everything. And I hope you all have an amazing night. I hope your kids will enjoy the wonderful talk we've had with Patty and Dell. And I hope your kids enjoy the Pip the Pup books as much as Dante has. Dante, the first one, he knows, we keep redoing so many times, he can repeat it back to me like he's reading it. It sounds like he's reading it, but he can't fully read yet, so it's amazing. That one's his favorite. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Good night.
Good night.
Night.